All right, boys. Today is what is today? Today's Thursday. Today's Thursday, January 22nd, 2026. Wait, what's happening? Oh, wait, I'm hearing myself. Hold on, let me get rid of that. What's happening? Oh, wait, I'm hearing myself. I gotta find the window where I opened up the stream. I literally don't know where it's at. I feel like a boomer using technology. There it is, right there. There we go. All right, how are you doing, everybody? Let's try that again. Today's Thursday, January 22nd, 2026. And yeah, let's try another stream. We're going to do another stream. We did one yesterday. We're going to do another one today. And you know what? I have a feeling, I have a sneaky suspicion. Call me crazy, but I have a sneaky suspicion that we might even do one tomorrow. Okay, so I was thinking about this game. I was giving it a lot of thought today. And I was like, like, what do I want to do with this thing? Right? I mean, it's like Matthew. I think it was Matthew. It was either Matthew or I think it was Matthew who said that it was a game system simulator, which is a lot of fun, right? Because at least for me as a programmer, building systems is really fun. Like that's the interesting part. I was talking to my daughter the other day, and we were talking about video games, and we were talking about how like the problem we fall into when we play video games is that we often fall into this trap of like, oh, I can see how they build that. I bet I could build that. Or like you want to build it. Like you kind of could see conceptually how something works from a pragmatic standpoint, and you're like, I want to do that. And so that's so that's what I'm trying to do with this game. Is like I'm just building all these systems. I'm just building a mini map. I'm building a little menu system and I'm building an inventory system. I'm building a health system, a personality. So I'm building all these little systems, but there's still like no actual game. Like, I mean, what can you do? You can walk around. It kind of, some of it looks nice. Like this kind of stuff looks nice, I guess, and there's some fog and there's some lights and it looks a little ominous, but like what can you do? You can't do anything. You can avoid these guys. Oh wait, all right, it's going to have to do some refresh. You can like avoid guys over here. You can also admire how many batches there are. There's literally 2,500 batches. I have no idea why. Now let's see. I go into the scene view and I actually disable certain things that automatically reduce the batches. This let's just build. You can do this. Let's save every building on the map, and let's go back to the game view and see if that reduces the batches. And of course, the batches are severely reduced. But oddly enough, we're still getting like 600, which seems like a lot. So let's see. If I go ahead and let's just kind of one by one. Well, let me see. So the oceanfront buildings, they're actually, I don't think they're in view right now, but maybe, let's go over here. Let's try this. I want to bring back the batches here and let's see what happens. Matthew says, in my experience with how you're feeling, I'd often suggest cutting scope and just making it completable. My game is also a system simulator right now, but when you bring it all together, party time. Yeah, no, I get that. Like I was talking to AI today because I don't have friends, and but I was actually talking to AI about this problem, and I was talking. I had an idea for this game, kind of this game. I was like thinking, okay, what systems in this game could I take and like put into something that's a smaller scope? Because I was thinking the same exact thing, reduce the scope, because right now the scope on this game is huge, or like, and that's why it's never going to get done, but that's fine. But like if I want something that's actually completable, well, I agree, reduce the scope. And I was like, well, I could take the boat. Like I quite like the boat, and I could just have an at-sea survival horror game. You could throw some horror element. We have the boat mechanics. We have inventory. I mean, we have a lot of the systems we need. We have the boat. I mean, the boat mechanics probably need to be improved. But so anyway, so that's what I was thinking. I was thinking of like, okay, I could like take those mechanics out of this, put them into a new project, and just see how it goes. But I just have a feeling I would probably just be back to where I'm at. The mission system would actually work pretty well in the in a boat survival game, an at-sea survival game. I'm sure there's a million gazillion at-sea survival games though. That's the problem. Let me come back. I wanted to try enabling Oh, okay. I bet that it's not enabled because this is not enabled. So if I bring this back, but then if let's see. Oh dear. Oh dear. Unity is choking. Oh dear. Oh dear. Okay, here we go. Okay, Unity's back. 1,500 batches. I wanted to just kind of reduce these by systematically, just to kind of see what. Okay, so as far I meant to ask, in terms of I want to understand exactly what a batch is, in terms of Unity stats during in the game view, during Unity stats in the game view. What is there is I know I have a typo. A stat in batches. What is a batch? Stop the game, lag the stream. Fine. But why is it suddenly now lagging the stream? You guys never complained about this before. Second question, what is the core gameplay loop again? If we complete that, the rest is stuff or fluff. Stop the game. Why is the gameplay suddenly, like for months and months, for like a year, you guys didn't complain about gameplay lagging the stream? Okay, a batch. In Unity, a batch represents a single group of draw commands sent from CPU to the GPU to render one or more objects sharing the same render state. Okay. A package of objects. Instead of telling the GPU to draw this tree, then draw the tree separately, Unity combines those into a single batch. Makes sense. Primary goal, to reduce CPU overhead. Every individual draw call requires the CPU to prepare data, change the settings, blah, 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 blah. All right. But then, what is included in the batch stat? Static batches. Combine non-moving objects marked static. So we could probably get away with actually marking, like, okay, like the buildings, for example. Oh, they are marked static. All right. I was kind of hoping that maybe that would be an easy win, right? The park lamp, that could be static. Wait a minute. What does static mean exactly? Like, can a light that changes be static? I'm guessing static just means it's not going to move. But can like the color of a static thing change? So I'm guessing what static to me implies, and I'm not saying this is correct, this is what I'm guessing. Static implies that the transform never changes, but maybe the other stuff can. So the size, the rotation, and the position of the objects never change, but the color could. Matthew, wait. Static is for a mesh that doesn't move. Okay, so I was exactly right. So once again, I am correct. Click the arrow next to static. There's various static options. Everything. Contribute GI. Ocular static. Batching static. I have no idea what any of that means. So let's see. If I... the park bench. This is the lamp. The street lamp where we begin the game. Why is it all of a sudden very... Huh. What is happening? Let's restart Unity. That's what we're going to do. We're going to quit Unity and restart it. All right. Let's see what else is going on. All right, come on, Unity. You missed my first question. Click the static. Static is for mesh. When I first joined the game, wasn't as demanding, full of assets. That's not a question. I don't see a question on here. Oh wait. First question. Would you prefer I work on features, gameplay, or optimization? That's what I prefer you work on. Optimization. 100% optimization, because that is probably where that's probably my weakest, the weakest skill I have in Unity. Not to say that my other skills are not weak. I'm just saying that's probably my weakest, since in my experience with development in general, optimization is one of those things that is really, it really gets better with experience. It's not, I mean, there are certain optimizations you can do, and I'm sure it's even true in Unity. There are certain techniques you can be taught. There are certain things that, like, well, you don't do that because that's going to kill performance. But a lot of times it just comes with experience. And I think that's also probably another, I wish Will Tyler was here, because I think that's also another area where AI would probably struggle, is to make something more optimized. Now, AI would probably do very well at making code tighter, but that does not necessarily mean optimized. So give and take. All right. So what was I going to do? I was going to look at the buildings, and then I was going to come over here, and I'm going to go over here. Okay. What I wanted to do. Oh, that's right. I wanted to look at the park ramp. All right. So this one, what is, okay. So this is not static. So let me mark it as static, and I'm going to say yes. Okay. And I'm just curious to see if the gameplay, I guess, because it's a light. So the intensity of the light is not driven by the mesh, so it should be fine. Oh, yeah. Okay, so that still works. So there's tons of shit I could make static then. All right, I'm just going to make everything fucking static. Fuck it. The bush, that's static. Welcome to Staticville, bush. Oh, bush B with leaves? Oh, yeah, you're static now. Congratulations. Bush D? Oh, you're also static. All right, let me see. And then we have a rock. Oh, of course, a rock. Oh, look at all these rocks that could be static. Okay, everything under there is static, 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 static. And then the intersection. Okay, I'm just going to make this whole thing static. Yes, change the children. They are all static now. All right, let me see. Okay, give me 5 seconds. Oh. Okay, never mind. I'm going to ignore that for a second. And then, okay, so this point, park lamp. That could also, okay, all of that, static. We're okay, we got a one-way ticket, and we're headed to Staticville, boys. That's where we're going. This building, okay, the building's static. That's fair. Okay, oceanfront. The entire oceanfront subchild, static. Yes, change all the children. Now, I'm not expecting that to be a huge improvement, but I would imagine, actually, it might be a fairly decent improvement. Static gate. That's, yeah, it's the static bus. I'm sure there used to be a method called destroy all children. That was a fun to call. So actually that kind of, well, in Linux, I remember this is a long time ago, way back in the 90s when I was first getting into like Linux, and like Linux came out in 94, and it was 93 or 94. When 91. Okay, so it's actually a little bit older. But I turned 20 when I lived in New York City. So that would have been 1995. And I had a laptop, and I don't know, it was running DOS with Windows 3.1, but it ran terribly. And then I had a friend who was like, because I worked back in the old day, way back in 19 diggity doo, you used to buy software at a store. You would actually go to the store and you would buy a box, and inside the box were these things called discs. And this was before CD-ROMs even. And you would take these discs and you would take them home and you would put them into your computer, and then you would do stuff with those discs. So what would happen then? Then you had stores that sold these boxes, and I worked at one called Software Etc. Have I told the story about how I almost invented Geek Squad? But anyway, I think I did, but maybe I'll tell it again if anybody's interested. But I forgot where I was going with this. Oh, so people would, like, computer people would come into the store often, and I would strike up a conversation with them. So at that time, and it's interesting because I wonder how common of an experience this is, but looking back on that time, I was at the forefront of no less than a dozen ways in which would have made me a millionaire today. And what I mean by that is Magic the Gathering is one way. Magic the Gathering, I had, like, it was in beta, and a buddy of mine who came into the store, he was always trying to encourage me to play Magic. You should buy, we got a group that's going down to the Sears, it was the Sears Tower building. Well, no, Citicorp building. I can't remember the name of it. I would recognize the building if I saw it. But like, come down and play. We're like, we're playing. Just get some magic cards. And we sold the magic cards at the software store, and they were in the beta edition. And I'm like, oh, and you know, had I just held on to my magic cards, I'd probably be able to retire today, because I had a respectable collection of Magic the Gathering cards that were beta and 3rd edition. So anyway, there was that. There was the Geek store. There was the Geek Squad story, which I think I've told before, but I can tell it again. But then another way was that I had a friend who was telling me, install Linux. If you're having a problem with Linux, just install Linux on your laptop. It'll run great. And I remember I had Linux for a short time on my laptop, and then there was something I couldn't do with it, and I just gave up because computers were very difficult back then. But who knows? I could be Linus Torvald. If I had stuck with it, I could be Linus Torvald's like second in command. I forget what that guy's name is. But yeah. So, I walked past a board game store before. It looked awesome. Well, this wasn't a board game store. This was the store was literally called Software Etc. I don't even know if they're in business anymore. And it was at 33rd and Broadway. We were on the same block as the Empire State Building. I think today it is actually, you know what? I think today it's a Starbucks or something. 33rd and Broadway. It was in downtown Manhattan. I kind of loved it because I lived in Queens. And so I would have to get up in the morning and I'd have to get on the subway and take the subway into the city. And there was a certain, like, I understand why people get addicted to that, because there's a certain, like, you're part of this thing that's like bigger than you, and there is a certain draw to that. I have no interest in participating in that anymore, but I get it. Okay, 33rd and Broadway, yeah, because so there was this big intersection, I remember, and then there's the Empire State Building, just like I said, and we were right on this corner. So I'm curious as to what's there now. Yep, right there. This was it. This was it. This was the building. There used to be a Roy Rogers down here on the other end. I remember I would often go to the Roy Rogers for lunch, though I couldn't very often because I couldn't afford it. But looks like, what is that that's there? What is that? At the time of this picture, it's nothing. Something tells me it was not just recently a Software Etc. Let's see more dates. It was a GameStop. How fitting. How absolutely fitting. Let's see. The oldest picture they have is from 2009, and it was a GameStop in 2009. All right. So that makes sense. A sense of belonging. Yes. And it's not even so much a sense of belonging. Yeah, that's part of it. Yeah. Maybe that's a good way. It's just this part of I think the way I said it kind of resonates with me a little more, is like something bigger than yourself, right? Like, I don't know, but I did enjoy that feeling. And I remember, so I lived out here in, so here's Manhattan, and I'd have to take the subway all the way over here to Queens, or Astoria, which is part of Queens. And then the reason I was living in New York is because my baby mama and my daughter, they had moved to New York, and they were living up here on the Upper East Side at this apartment at 83rd and 3rd, I think, around 83rd and 3rd, 83rd and 4th, maybe 83rd and 2nd, somewhere around here. And so I would work, and then I would often take the metro up to 83rd and 3rd, and then I would take the metro home to Astoria. Sometimes I would spend the night at my baby mama's. Nothing ever happened. I would just spend the night. And then I had a friend that lived down in Hell's Kitchen, so sometimes I'd go to his place. It was a typical 20-year-old life. I was literally 20 years old. And so back when they used to sell software on in these boxes, on these things called discs, like a save icon, the save icon of me, like, of course I can't find what would be a good app. Actually, probably right here in Visual Studio. This thing right here, that's a disc. That's a diskette, a disc. So anyway, but not only back in the day did they sell software on discs, they also sold music on CDs and cassettes, and even before that they sold music on these big things called LPs. Amazing. So there was Oh my God, what was the name of that store? What was the name of that store? It was a famous record store. Oh my God, what was the name of it? Oh my God. Large record store franchises from the 90s. It's going to bug me. I have to, let's see. Tower Records. Yes, first one. Tower Records. So there was a Tower Records that was somewhere around, like, it was on the way from my baby mama's apartment to the subway. And I would often stop in the Tower Records just to look. I was poor. I couldn't afford anything. Oh, you know what? I have not sent the link out to anybody. So let me send it to this one person here. All right, and then let me send one last message over here. Interesting. Okay. So anyway, so let me get. Oh wait, let me. Look, since I'm sending the link out, I'll get back. Remind me to tell you the Tower Records story in a minute. Let me just send the link out to people. All right. I completely forgot to do that. I got to send it to Lisa. I got to send it to my friend Nick. I got to send it to my friend Choke. I probably don't want to send it to the guy who did my gutters yesterday. That would be a little weird. I'm going to send it to Robbie. And I already sent it to Henna. Who else could I send? Okay, I got to go over to Instagram because how can I forget? How can I even forget to not send it to well, first let me send it to this person. I'm going to send it to her. And then I'm going to send it to Razman, the Singleton man. But how could I forget not to send the link to our North Star, our shining light? I'm glad that's not her boyfriend. I was about to get really jealous yesterday, but unfortunately it's her dead cousin. So anyway, but yes, I got to send the link to her. But of course, I like to imagine that she is already in the chat room. She is already in the chat room. Although I will say, I would have, like, before I just saw what I saw, I would probably give her like a solid 8.5, if not a 9, right? Like in certain pictures, she's a 9. Like, I think she's a beautiful girl. However, having seen this here, she's gone from a solid 8.5 to like a 7.25. Yep, 7.25. Yep. She's got pronouns in her bio. And you know what? It's even worse because English is her second language. Oh. Yeah, she's a solid 7 now. Solid 7. But still, I will still continue to send her the link. Anyway, so here, once again, wait, let me do this. I'm going to do this. We're just going to, we're going to get to some programming. Don't worry. Let me draw up my favorite program, paint.net. All right, here we go. And then we're going to come over here. All righty. Then we're going to go over here and then over here. So, okay. So here's Manhattan, right? And then I just want to draw. Okay. So I was working down here right by the Empire State Building. No. We want to make that bigger. We always want to make it bigger. No. How do I make it bigger? Literally, how do I make it bigger? How? Okay, there's the color. How do I make it thicker? Like that's a... Okay, but seriously, in the context of this program, how do I make it thicker? Okay, normally there's a button you can just push that makes it thicker. If only real life worked like that. Okay, wait, right here. No. Okay, can we come over here? Okay, we're just gonna have to make do with what we got. Again, very much real to life. Okay, so I work down here. Oh my God, no, there's got to be a better way to do this. Okay. Where is the frickin'... I just want to be able to... Let's see. Auto levels. No. There should be a toolbar, right? There should be a toolbar, and I should have, like, it should be able to just adjust the thickness of the line that I'm drawing. Okay, what about over here? Here? No, that's just color. All right. Why is this so difficult? Ah, here we go. All right, now we're cooking with fire. All right. So I work down here. Oh, wow. Okay. Nope. Are you serious? Are you serious? Why is this so difficult? Like, why? Wow. Use brush instead of pencil. Oh, okay. Well, okay. Well, thank you. All right. Well, that was not obvious, okay? Not all of us are from England, Matthew. Anyway, so I worked down here at the Empire State Building, and then my baby mama, she lived up here at like 33rd and Broadway or something, or 83rd and Broadway or 83rd and 3rd, something like that. And then I lived over here in Astoria. I don't even remember where, but I lived over here. So I was often going between these 3 points, right? And so when I would often leave my like I would spend some time with my daughter, I'd give her bath and put her to sleep, read her some bedtime stories, and then I would leave. And then, but often on the way home, I would stop at Tower Records. Now, there's no point to this story, and actually, I don't know why I'm telling it, but I think about this story because I look back on these moments in life where I had these, pretty much, you can just call them invitations from women that I just didn't register at the moment. So I would stop at this Tower Records. And there was this girl that I had the hugest crush on. She was like your very typical alternative purple hair with a skirt with Birkin, like with you know the thing with the Doc Marten boots and the ripped tights and just like the ultimate like alternative 90s girl that like I just had a huge crush on. And of course, I'm a 20-year-old man, no self-confidence. Like it's rare for a 20-year-old man to have any kind of confidence when it comes to women. Some do. Some guys are gifted at being like 6'4" and really buff and just naturally good looking. But for most of us, it's a little bit harder out there, especially at the age of 20. But so I would go to Tower Records and I would often talk to this girl. And this happened, I would go there multiple times a week and I'd see her often and we would talk and we would usually talk about music or whatever. And so I remember this one night, I was at my baby mama's house hanging out with my daughter. And then I was coming home. And now in order to get from here, up here to over here, what you had to do is this line here is misleading. Okay. You had to go down here and then you had to transfer and then you could go over here like that. Right. And so I remember this one night I get on the subway and I'm going down. And on the subway, I see the girl. I see that girl. And we just ended up talking. We're just talking. Like, because we would always talk and like, oh, hey, blah, blah, blah. Oh, blah, blah. Oh, blah, 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 blah. And as we're like, blah, 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 and we're blah, 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 this is happening. Blah, 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 blah. Like we're on the subway. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, blah, 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 blah. Oh, blah, 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 blah. And it just kept blah, blah, blah until we were almost down here. And this is, what the hell is it called? It's a very famous part of Manhattan, and I can't remember the name of it. It's not Alphabet City. Alphabet City's over here. Whatever. St. Mark's? No. Anyway, that's where she lived. And I'm like, oh. And so like I got just like so just confused. And she's like laughing and like, well, have fun getting home. And I'm like, blah, 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 blah. So I had to go back up here and then I had to go home. All right. So I go home and like we had a really good conversation and I am just like, I have to ask this girl out. Like I have to. I'm in New York. Like the only thing I have in New York are my job and my daughter. At that time, I was like still kind of in love with my baby mama, but kind of like getting over her. Like I was mostly over her, but it was like, still there were like, I was like, I need something else, right? I need something else. And so I finally work up the courage to ask this woman out. And she says no. But she was at work. Now, maybe like in hindsight, probably not the best idea to ask the girl out at her place of work. But I'm 20 years old. So I ask her out. She says no, that she has a boyfriend, but she's like, that doesn't mean that you can't keep coming in here and talking to me. And I'm like, okay, yeah, no, for sure. Okay, see you later. I never went back to Tower Records. Not once did I go back. But I look back on that, and I look back on her telling me that, like, I could, like, that doesn't mean you have to stop coming in. And I'm like, was that kind of like an invitation? Like, was that like, that? It felt like she was kind of like, being respectful to her boyfriend, but she wasn't closing the door entirely, right? Because, well, women generally don't leave one relationship for nothing. Like, in my experience, women generally always have a backup. Like, both men and women will monkey branch from one relationship to the other. But women do it so much more often. Like, a man will dump a girl and then be miserable and alone for a while, right? Like will legitimately be like, I need to like work on myself and go to go just blah, 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 right? Whereas women, no. Women, in my experience, 99 times out of 100, they will go from one relationship to another. They are not single for very long. Matthew says, the only reason my ex left me is for someone else. Exactly. That's how women operate generally. And I know Henna is probably still in the chat room, and it's just like, she probably wants to be like, well, yeah, you're just a misogynist pig. But notice, she won't say I'm wrong. Just notice that. And then Will Tyler says, Addie goes simp. No, I didn't go simp, because I never, ever went back to that Tower Records. I never went back, because she said, even though the girl said, hey, that doesn't mean you have to stop coming in here. Like, you can keep coming in here and talking to me, or whatever she said. Never went back. Never once. But let me tell you the Geek Squad story. So this also takes place during my time in New York City, when I lived there for about a year. So I was 20 years old. I turned 20 while I was living in New York. So the year's 1995. This thing called the internet is starting to like catch on, right? Like, people are talking about their emails. Like, do you have your emails? And then I remember, I work at Software, etc. And I had known at that time, I'd known about the internet since like 92. And I remember like people I remember my friend, this guy, Lynn, this Asian guy, he was a very interesting guy. But I just remember he asked me a question that other people asked me that was very common at this time, at this stage of the internet. And that question was, who owns the internet? Because at that time you had Prodigy, you had CompuServe, you had AOL. And so you had these companies that had these online services. Right. And at that time, they were self-contained services. Right. Like AOL was just AOL. Like, you log on to AOL and you can only message people who use AOL. You can only instant message people who use AOL. You can only look at things that are on AOL. It was the same with CompuServe. It was the same with Prodigy. And so a lot of people would often ask, like, who owns the internet? And it was like very difficult to explain that, like, no one really owns it. It's just like I remember explaining it as like a voluntary network that people join, and that's how it grows, which is pretty much what it is, right? I mean, it's changed quite a bit since 1994, 95, but the basic idea remains the same. So I worked at Software, etc., and I had this reputation in a software store, no doubt, of being the computer guy. They didn't know any. I mean, they knew the basics, like, well, this says you require 640K of RAM, but you only have 512, so you're not going to be able to run it, that kind of thing. But like, I knew my way around a computer. I mean, as much as like a 20-year-old kid who would play with computers and did some programming and like knew his way. So I'm pretty sure you've probably heard this story before, Matthew, but so forgive me. Well, it's been a while since I've told it. So people would naturally, when they had problems with their computer, they would naturally go to Software Etc. Because again, this Babbage's was a competitor of ours. There was Software Etc., there was Babbage's, and there was another one. There was another one I worked at when I was living in Washington, D.C., but I can't remember. It might have been Babbage's. I don't remember. But anyway, so naturally, when people would have problems with their computer, they would come to like the store that sells computer programs. Surely they can help me with my computer problems. But at this time, there was nothing. Nobody was offering computer problems. Like none of them. Nobody was offering that. So they would come in, and people at the store, they knew that I knew my way around computers. And I remember the first time it happened that this guy comes in and he's like, yeah, and I was like, well, just, tell me what the problem is. And he's like, well, normally I start my computer up and it used to load Windows right away, but now I don't know, it's just not loading Windows anymore. And like now this was a time when like the operating system was DOS, and you had what was called an autoexec.bat file. autoexec.batch file, which was a script file that ran when you booted up. And the way it generally worked is it booted into DOS, the autoexec.bat file ran, which just ran a Windows command, literally just win.com or win, and then Windows stopped, just opened up. So when he tells me this, my first thought is, oh, he probably just fucked up his autoexec.batch file. So I'm like, okay, I was like, okay, well, I'm going to lunch in like a half hour. And there was like a Roy Rogers next door. I'm like, can you, just meet me at the Roy Rogers and, to be like, $20 an hour, whatever, something like that. And I'm like, okay. So I go and like, he gives me his computer and I turn it on, look it up. And for some reason, like the win command in his autoexec batch file had been commented out. I literally just removed the comment. I made it a command again, rebooted it. Windows started without a problem. And he hands me $20. I was making $5.50. And so I'm just like, what the hell? Like, I just made like half a day's wages just in like literally like 5 minutes. And so I'm just like, oh my God. So there was a steady trickle. Like once a week, somebody would come in and I was helping them with their computer. And I was making like a nice little side income. It was like $20 a pop. Sometimes it was $40 a pop, whatever it was. And I remember talking to my dad, and he's like, well, why don't you, because this was at a time when you had pagers, right? You had pagers. Cell phones were coming around, but I didn't have cell phone money. All right. I had pager money. So my dad's like, well, he's like, why don't you put some flyers up around the city? Just put some flyers up at like different stores and things, just like offering services. Computer services, you pervs. Okay, get your mind out of the gutter. So I'm like, okay. So I do this, and like the first couple of days, boom, boom, bzz, 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 I'm making $40. And then what happens? My pager just starts going off and off. Like it was just like bzz, bzz, bzz. It was over fucking whelming how many calls I was getting. And you know what I did? I changed my pager number. That's what I did. That was my solution to the problem. I had too many people willing to give me easy money, so I changed my pager number. That's what I did. And that was like, I look back on that, and that is one of my biggest regrets, because that's why I say that, like, I could have started Geek Squad. And you know what? Like, people make fun of Geek Squad, but I bet you whoever started Geek Squad, he probably sold the business and now he's on a yacht somewhere enjoying his life and never working again. Actually, I'm wondering, let me see. When was Geek Squad founded? 1994, right around the time. Oh, look, this guy looks like he's probably about my age too. Okay. By Robert Stevens, starting a local computer repair service that was later acquired by Best Buy. Okay, Geek Squad originally, Chief Okay, I need to know about this guy. Robert Stevens, 31 years ago. So, no, that's not him. That's a different Robert Stevens. Um, yeah. Geek Squad was let's see, wait. It was founded in 1994 by Chief Inspector Robert Stevens. However old he is, he's probably older than me, if not the same age. And he has a net worth. Really? That's it? Okay. Oh, he sold his company for $3 million. That's it? Founder of Geek Squad left Best Buy in 2012 after they acquired his company for $3 million. That seems rather cheap, if you ask me. Really? No. The estimated net worth of Robert Stevens is at least $686,000. I'm probably worth that much. Like, what? All right. No, this is 2012, $3 million. 2012, $3 million is what it said, unless I read it wrong, which is quite possible. In January 2012, following poor financial results, Best Buy Europe venture, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, when was Geek Squad sold to Best Buy? Geek Squad was acquired by Best Buy in well, this says 2002. So maybe he was bought out in 2012. Whatever. It doesn't sound like I was thinking that like he made. I would have thought he had made at least more than 10 million. I was thinking maybe even upwards of 100 million. Now I wasn't thinking he made billions, but I would happily take 100 million. Hell, I'd happily take 10 million, and honestly, I would happily take 3 million. I would happily take 3 million, but. I'm a little surprised that, wow, okay, all right. Anyway, that could have been me. Either way, that could have been me. That could have been me, but no, I changed my pager number. That's what I did. I had that pager disconnected because I was getting too much business. He probably had to come over to Best Buy and got a parts stock deal. I get, yeah, that could be part of it. No, I don't feel so bad. Oh boy, no, my time in New York, man, it wasn't a really great time. It was not a good time for me. It was it wasn't that great. Anyway, all right. So, what are we going to work on tonight? Well. Apparently, when I run the game, I'm just gonna go through and make everything static. That's what we decided it's gonna happen here. Like all these cubes, everything under here could probably be static if it isn't already. Let's see, house prefab static. Okay, so this means that some things under it are static, but not everything is. So let's see. Okay, there we go. Static. We're just gonna make sure everything is static. We're trying to reduce our batches. Okay, all right. And if it's sore, don't touch it. I don't know what made me say that. All right, so let's see. We're coming over here. We're going to do all of this. We're just going to keep doing this. All right. Down here. Yes, change all the children to static. I don't think there's anything that... Oh, but wait a minute. Matthew. Wait a minute, Matthew. Matthew, wait a minute. Matthew, wait a minute. Matthew. If the building is static, can I open and close doors? Well, I guess let's try. So this building here, I'm going to make it static. Oh, it is static. Okay, I guess you can. I guess as long as the mesh doesn't change, meaning it's not scaled up or down or warped, then I guess it's okay. Razman, scam people. I wasn't scamming anybody, Razman. Why have you stopped Why have you stopped the night streams? This is a better time. Well, first of all, now at this time, I don't feel guilty. It basically has to do with my wife. Because she gets home at around 5:30, and then when I was doing the streams, that like I didn't see her at all that day. So at least this way, I can stream for a couple of hours, and then I can hang out with her in the evening. Yeah, this is where you'd have to have only marked certain objects as static, but this is marked as static. Or maybe let's see. Okay, maybe the doors aren't. Okay. All right. Well, let's look at what the batches look like now. And Razman, I know I was pretty excited because you were talking about you had some C++ questions, and you mentioned operator overloads and something else. I don't remember what the other thing was. Okay, so the batches are just horrible. Look at that. They're at 1700. Like what is going on with the batches? Okay, like if I look down here, nothing. All right, so over here. All right, like this house alone. Okay, well, wait a minute. All right, so Unity stuck. All right, so let me come over here. I'm going to try. Okay. Yep. Okay. All right. Okay. Nope. Can't do anything. Okay. Let's just go over here. This door's easier. Okay. Well, wait a minute. Is it? Oh, the doors are not more. Oh my God. Okay. I think that's that caching thing. The batches are insane. 2,400. Yeah, how are you going to optimize that, English boy? Huh? How are you going to optimize that, English boy? Tell me that. Ugh. I shouldn't make fun of him. I shouldn't tease him. He's doing me a favor. Give me a second. Give me a second over here. All right. So who is ready for this snowstorm that's coming? Let me check the latest, because now they're saying, oh, it's going to be ice. It's going to be a lot of ice. It's going to be a ton of ice. Let's see. And then since there are some communists in the chat room, oh my God, it's been reduced to 13 inches. I'll put that in communist units. So that's 13 centimeters and then 21 centimeters. So now you guys got it. You guys know how much that is. All right. So what are we doing? We are going to, yeah. You saw that right. I don't know what to do, because if I run anything, that's what I could do is I could just delete a bunch of stuff, right? I could delete that. And then I could delete this one here. And then I could delete. No, I'm not going to delete that one. Okay, let's see if this helps. Just that much. Yeah, I know. We're down to 4 to 8 projection. It's just getting worse and worse. I mean, at one point they were calling for 2 feet. Now it's barely a foot. No, don't like it. Original was 16 to 24 inches. Yeah, pretty much the same here. You know, I mean, look how I think my idea of changing this into a fishing game is actually not a bad idea. Look at how low those batches are. If it's just the boat and water. Just the boat and water. What a snow pansy. Whatever, Mexican boy. Whatever. Take your snow back to Mexico, Mexico boy. Oh dear. I'd probably have to fix this bug if I'm going to make a at sea survival game. Ooh. Did I put a light out there? I must have. I'm intrigued. Like this is like a legitimate game. I don't remember doing that. I mean, I must have done it. I just don't remember doing that. Okay. Or is this a bug? And it's like, Okay, this is a bug. What is this? Okay. Okay. What exactly? What are you? Wait, 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 whoa, 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 whoa. What is that? I can't click it. What is it? This is turning into a horror game. What is this? I'm so confused. Matthew, what is this? Shift right click. It's not clicking. That is let's restart the game. Let's see. Oh, this certainly is interesting. No, shift was right. It's just that I like even now I mean alt shift like nothing's selecting it. Huh. Huh. All right. Here's what we'll do. I have an idea. What I'm going to do, it should bring up a context menu. Well, no. Nothing. All right, I'm going to go with my idea. Which is to just make things invisible. Let's see. Oh, wait. We're there. Are we? No, we're not. I think I selected the water. Okay, wait a minute. Okay. Okay, it's under game assets. We know that. All right. It's under game assets. No. Okay. Is it under buildings? No. Is it under NPCs? No. It is. Okay. All right. Is it under the sun NPC? Green guy? No. What about enemy NPCs? Yes. It is under enemy NPCs. This is quite perplexing. Okay. Nope. Not a station guard. Not Station Guard 2. Not Station Guard 3. And not Station Guard 4. And is it Patrol Guard? No. So it's something to do, but if I make the enemy NPCs, if I make that invisible, then it's invisible. It's control right click. What am I supposed to do with this? What am I supposed to do with this information? I'm okay. Delete. Well, I can't select it. That's the problem. I can't delete it because I can't select it. So one of those 4 objects has a pink square in their children. You would think, but then that would, because then, okay, if I make them individually invisible, the pink square, is it becoming invisible? I don't think so. Oh, okay. All right. All right. Forward marker. No. Fire point. No. Forward marker 2. I don't know why I have a forward marker 2. No. Health slider canvas? No. Skeleton mesh bodyguard 2. No. So once again, but if I select this, it goes away. But none of these. Huh. Huh. Well, this is quite a pickle. Oh. Okay. Well, why do I have a line renderer at all? What is the purpose of this line renderer? Why do I have a line renderer? And why is the line renderer? Is the line renderer used to draw the objects above? Okay. First, well, I've got this project so dirty that I'm going to reset. Okay, let me do this. I'm just going to completely undo the changes we've done. All right, just undo that. All right, reload. Okay, so it was NPCs, enemy NPC, station guard. What? 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 I'm very confused. I'm also waiting for Razman's questions. I was like super stoked to like teach some C++, but Razman, he's already tapped out. He's probably busy running from ice or something. Yes, it's on all of them. It's the shooting line renderer. The shooting line renderer. Oh, like when they shoot a bullet. Oh. Well, why? Huh? All right. You know what? No, sorry. I am not going to ask right now. I'm working. I'll see if I can catch you on the weekend. Whatever, lame. Have it disabled by default. But then that means when they shoot at you, this little dot will appear in the middle of nowhere. I don't like that. Also, is it on the prefab? What? Okay, what NPC patrolman prefab? Yeah, it's here. So does shooting enable the line renderer? Is that what I'm to understand? Let me see. Okay, I always forget, do I want revert all or apply? I want apply all. Apply all overrides to prefab. No, I want revert all. Okay. And I want revert all here as well. I want revert all here too. Okay, easy, easy. I want revert all here. And then lastly, I want revert all here. Okay, it's gone away. Now, let's see if they actually do shoot. It should be fully controlled by the NPC anyway. All right, I know this is probably... all right, I'm going to go... I'm going to... What's he doing? What's he doing? Hello? You should be walking. Oh, my stars and garters. What now? Oh, my God. It's because... I bet it's because... I know why it is. It's because I reverted the patrolman's prefab. That's why. The patrolman, I should not have done the override because he has... Yeah, because he has a set of points somewhere. Patrol points. Here. Default state, enemy idle. His default state should be patrol. And then I guess I can do this. There is a way to do this. I forget how to do it. There is a way to drag. I remember fighting with this a while back. I don't. Oh wait, can I do it like that? Can I do it like this? No. Because these are okay. I think I got it. I think okay. Just calm down for a second, okay? Just calm down and let me think. Let me think. All right, I got this. Okay. All right. You know, I swear, every stream I try to do a perfectly calm stream. I try to like tell you guys that this is going to be a very calm and mellow stream. And what happens? You piss me off. It's what always happens. There we go. Got it. All right. Got it. Okay, so now he should be patrolling. Let's see. All right. So, yeah, he is off. He is off to do his patrolman things. I think what I'll do also just for the purposes of development until Matthew is able to do some optimizations, I'm going to disable a few buildings like these here. And then hopefully that will help with the lagging of the stream while, you know what I'm trying to say. Let's see. And I don't want to be all... Oh, there was something I did notice. I thought this was pretty cool. So, with the new visuals, I'm not sure if it's with Visual Studio. With the Visual Studio Unity plugin, now I can... maybe this was always there and I just never realized it. I could have it start the game, hit a breakpoint, and then when I actually stop debugging, it stops the game in Unity. Don't make me a liar. It's going to make me a liar. It just made me a liar. Okay, well, let's back up. Let's back up. Okay, so I start this. It was not playing, so it should be starting in here. Okay. All right. Okay, easy. Okay, we hit the breakpoint. Now let me stop. Stop debugging. Does it stop game? And it did. See, it stopped the gameplay. See, I like that because it did. It would annoy me that I would attach the debugger, but I had to select this new option, attach to Unity and play. Was that always there and I just didn't notice? That's quite possible. One thing obviously, the older you get, the more you learn about yourself, the better you get to know yourself. And actually, that's one reason that like a lot of younger women say they like older men, because older men, they know what they want, right? Like we know what we want. We know ourselves. There's no bullshit, right? Oh, there's bullshit, but you know what I mean. But one thing I have learned about myself is that I am not an observant person. I wish I was. I really wish I was, but I am just not an observant person. I'm just not. And Matthew says it was there. Okay, so it's been there the whole time. I just didn't know about it. All right. Well, once again, there was a party and I was not invited. Great. All right, let's see what we got. What can we do? All right, Matthew. So I expect the batches to be under 50. With full gameplay, all the buildings I want, and I want under 50 batches. Make it happen. Oh shit. Okay. All right. What do we want to work on? We're an hour into the stream. I've talked about New York. I've admonished Matthew. I've told Razman he's going to get deported by ICE. And then I said a bunch of misogynist things. So what else is there? 50, that's a mobile cookie clicker. I don't want to give up on my game. I like this little game. I do. One thing I think might help, another thing I was thinking of that maybe I just need to give up on is like, I really wanted. Okay, this is going to sound stupid. Well, let me stop the game. So, I really wanted a game where there was no building that you couldn't walk into. I wanted you to be able to walk into every building on the game. And I think maybe I need to accept that if there are to be a lot of buildings in this game, like I want, I just need to accept that there will be buildings you can't walk into. Because I alone am not Rockstar Games. I am a Rockstar, without a doubt, but I am not Rockstar Games. What branch should I finish making this game in? Just branch off Master. Master should, let me make sure. Master should have like the latest of everything. I had some boat changes I did earlier. Yeah, I had to undo some test code. So yeah, just do it on Master. And then for whatever reason, the automated build started working again. Oh, you know what we're going to do? Here's what we're going to do really quick. Excuse me. It might not be really quick, but we're going to do it anyway. Just bear with me here. What we're going to do, come over here. You see these little, like, this is all broken, right? But you see these little tags that have like I think this has one. Here's the project Lurker should be working on. He should be working on the Tommy Tucson video game. Yeah, I'm going to add these little badges. That's what we're going to do tonight. We're adding badges. We're going to add badges to GitHub. So there should be no, so Matthew, there should be no merge conflicts if you're going to work off a master, because I'm only going to be changing the README file. So let's go ahead and get to work on that, because I mean, those little things matter to me. All right, come over here. I'm trying to remember how to even do it. I mean, I know it's just a link, but I forget how to get the link. Let's see. What do we want to do? Well, that's dumb. Okay, read raw. All right, so this is. Does this SVG file, does that just get generated automatically by the workflow? If so, that's kind of cool. Let's see. The YAML file name is the same, so this should actually be the same. Well, wouldn't you look at that? Well, check out them apples. Ha! All right. Well, we got that. This should be easy peasy. I just got to remember the format. What is it? Here we go. All righty. So I am heading to Rome, not this coming Saturday, but a week from Saturday. And then I think I'm going to go to Senegal. So I'm going to go, and then I'm going to spend a week in Rome, and then I think I'm going to spend 2 weeks in Senegal. And you can actually, like the Airbnb I was looking at in Senegal, like, so the capital of Senegal is Dakar. And from what I have read, Senegal is fairly safe. The capital, as is most often the case, like the larger cities are usually safer than like the countryside. So let's see, let's just look up Dakar, Senegal. And then, but you can actually get really nice Airbnbs for really cheap, because who's going to Senegal? Like I was talking to my daughter last night, or when I was talking to her a couple nights ago, and I mentioned going to Senegal, and she's like, I've definitely heard of it, but I don't know offhand where it is. So I'm going to get something with an ocean view, because I am a spoiled princess. But yeah, I think this looks, actually, I don't think I've seen this one. This one actually looks really nice. It looks nicer than the original one. Anyway. Okay. So this should be done. Yeah, look at that. Perfect. Perfect. All right. Well, we did that. Okay, just commit that. We need, okay, Grok. Show me an emoji that reminds people of Hello Kitty. Let's see. All right, I'm just going to do, no, actually this cat face is better. Maybe we want to update the screenshot. Let's look at that. Let's look into doing that. We're just doing a bunch of aesthetic stuff until Matthew actually fixes the performance. YAML, where's not sure? Yeah. No, I was talking a couple of weeks ago about there's TOML. Isn't it like Tom's optimal markup language or something like that, which is basically like YAML? TOML. I think that's it. Markup. Yeah, Tom's obvious minimal language. And so I really like this, but you know what's very, very similar to TOML is human readable JSON. And so, yeah, so basically any new project I'm doing, actually, I kind of like this better. I was going to say any new project I'm doing, I'm going to start using human readable JSON, because human readable JSON is designed to be directly translated to JSON, and then, which is just, you know, very integrated with JavaScript. Okay, let's see. I wanted to try and find a good screenshot. Is anybody? I wish Not Sure was here, because he usually checks on the live stream. He checks on the other streams. I'm going to check on the mobile stream, see if there's anybody in there. One guy. This is actually so funny. Not once when I visited the stream in the past month, I've seen you actually write code. It has always been something off topic. Certified no chill. I don't know what he's talking about. I write plenty of code. I write tons of code on here, certified no chill. I wish he's still listening. I doubt he is, but I write tons of code. Okay. All right. So what we're working on is a new screenshot. We're working on a new screenshot. Actually, in order to do that, let's get into Matthew's dark mode. So Matthew's day-night controller, which we do need to fix at some point. Maybe we could work on that. Maybe we could try fixing Matthew's broken code. Let's see. Certified No Chill is in the chat room. I'm listening. Welcome, sir. Welcome. All right. So we just got done update. Well, if you're listening, you already know this, but for those of you just joining the program, we just got done. And this is probably the most important thing that a project can do on GitHub, a GitHub project can do. And that's have these little badges here, these little build badges. So you can see here, we have done that. So the project, it's pretty much a complete project at this point, as far as I'm concerned. Let's get I do like this screenshot, but I think it will look better with the guards, even though the guards, I was explaining to somebody how like there's no animation in the game, but just, you know, the guards, they just do this. They just have their arms out to the side. All right, so let's see. Let's see. Is that good? What do we think of that? Wait, what? That's not the screenshot. Okay, so we're gonna get the perfect screenshot tonight. So what I want to do is I need to make the guards. I need to disable their aggro, and I want to remove the little bars above their head. So I just need to do those two things, and then we'll be able to get the perfect screenshot. So how do I start with removing their aggro? Well, they're in. I forget what the name of the mode is. Enemy. It did say, right, you know what, I could just start the game because it literally says what state they're in above the head. Had to stop for gas and coffee. Did I miss anything interesting? Addie was talking about liking older men when I logged out. You wish. You wish. I only like younger men. Wait, no. Do not clip that. I'm so glad Not Sure is not here because he would clip that. Okay, so let's see. They are in the idle state. They were at enemy idle state. So I just need to go to enemy idle state and disable the part where they aggro enemy idle state. Perfect. There's actually... All right, never mind. Now, I'm making this more difficult than it needs to be because actually I could just... I have another idea. Got my first job interview at a tech on Monday. Got any tips? Lie. No, no, I would say and this is honestly, this is one tip that I always give, and it's something that I did early on in my career, and it got me a job, and then it's something that now that I'm in a position where I'm often interviewing people and deciding whether or not to hire people, it's something that people, when they do it, I won't say they stand out. They do kind of stand out, but I respect them more for it. And that is to say, if you get asked a question that you don't know the answer to, simply say, I don't know. There's nothing wrong with saying, I don't know. That is the one thing I would tell you to do, is don't try to bullshit. You could say something like, I don't know, but I think blah, blah, blah. Or, yeah, I'm not 100% sure, but I believe, but if you just have no idea, just say, I don't know. Just say, I don't know. Okay. What was I doing? Oh, I wanted to try this in scene mode. That's what I wanted to do. I do love how it looks. I mean, it looks like a little town. I love it. I love it. I just want a town that's not going to cost me 6 billion batches and kill performance. All right. I mean, come on. If Rockstar can do it, so can we. All right, what about something like this? No, not in the tree. How is this for a screenshot? Oh, okay, let me get green guy out of the picture. I want this statue. I think that looks pretty good. I want to get rid of the guards. I want to get rid of the thing above their head. Awesome tip. Thanks. Hey, let us know how it goes. Let us know. Let us know. Let us know if you get the job. All right. Let me see. Game assessment. I want to try and disable the thing above their head. I don't remember what that is. Actually, Matthew added it, but is it this here? Yeah. And then here? Okay. Then the patrol guy, I want to try and get a screenshot of him when he's walking by. All right. So disable his health slider. And then is there a deselect? There's got to be a deselect, right? Okay. Well, just select something off screen. There we go. No, that's screen. All right. No, over here. Okay, the boat. I'll select the boat. Okay. So now I am all prepared. When that guy, let me make sure I'm warming up my shot. All right. I mean, that's not, you could probably do that, but I want to try and get it with the guard that's actually walked by. Question, what is a typical day like? That's a good question too. Question, how does work intake and assignment work? All right, just don't listen to Will. He's talking like he's talking like somebody who thinks he knows what a tech worker does, but doesn't actually. No, I'm teasing. I like giving Will a hard time. All right. Maybe if I adjust this, okay, this is perfect. All right. Describe team dynamics. Okay, now you're just sounding like a woman. Don't ask women questions. I'm sorry for any women who's listening. I think Hannah tapped out long ago. All right, so the other patrol guy, he should be walking by soon. Can I get this statue in here somehow? Better? No, I don't want that. Okay, here it goes. Here we go. Okay, let him get in the light. I know. Let's see. No, I don't want the XYZ in there. All right. I think we can do here. How's that look? You guys like that? Let's see. What is the name of the image? Where is the name of the image? It is screenshot 1. What idiot would have named it that? All right, so I think we can do that. Let's see. DFS, and then it's going to be St. Abilene. It's going to be in Docs, Images, screenshot 1. And then we'll replace it. I think that looks pretty good. That's one of the ways to take that's one of the ways to take a game screenshot I've ever seen. What do you mean? Lag timeout for me too. Oh, you are lagging bad, Miss Henna said. Well, wait. Oh, that's because the game was running. The game should not be, it should be better now because the game's not running. I like, okay. And then Wind Shift S, drag box. Windows Shift S. Oh. Is that a Windows thing? It is. Oh. Look at that. I've always been loading up this snip snip application, this snipe, or what is it called? Whatever it's called. You know, the thing, the snipping tool. This thing over here. Okay. Windows Shift S. I didn't. Okay. It's good to, I mean, because that's been one of my big that's been one of my big complaints about Windows, because Mac has a similar shortcut that I use all the time. I use the Mac shortcut all the time. And of course you can just hit print screen, right? Like who doesn't know about print screen? And then Alt print screen, I think, takes a snapshot or takes a screenshot of the application that has focus, but I've never known of an actual shortcut to actually let you just drag it how you want. But okay, no, nice. It's a shortcut for the snipping tool for the win. Yeah, no. Okay. So I think we've got a new screenshot for the game, which I kind of love. I think it looks really nice. And do we want to center? I mean, these are the things that matter with every game project, right? These are the things that really are important. So do we want to center those status bars at the top? I think we kind of do. Yeah, I think we do. But do we want to put them? I think we might want to put them under the image. I don't know, boys. What do you think? Above or below? Or what if we do it both? What if we just do it? Oh, wait, no, not that. That's just double. Okay, I got the wrong things there. What happened to my music? There it is. All right. How about that? Super professional. Super. No, actually, I think I mean, in all seriousness, I think I do like. Oh no, I think I do like it on the bottom. I think I like it. No, yeah. I like it below. Oh, no, that's not any better. I like these things underneath the image. How's that? I like the status. I like the little status indicators underneath the image. I think that's good. I think it's going to look good like that. I think this is looking like an awesome project here. Okay, let me come over here. Okay, adding a new screenshot. Or let's see, update it. This screenshot. Now, just as important as the code you write, so are the commit messages. Those are just as important. All right, so I come over here, commit and push. All right, let's see it live. Let's see it. Now I'm kind of questioning. That maybe I want them above. No, I think we'll leave it like that. Then we got the game story. Oh, that is the other thing I wanted to do. Okay, so here's one thing we can try to do in the last half hour that shouldn't be too bad, I don't think. And that is bringing back the toggle for the first and third person camera. So what we can do, what can we do? Oh, I didn't check in the screenshot. Why didn't anybody tell me that? Why didn't you? God, I'm an idiot. Why didn't you guys tell me that? I literally had a commit message that said updating the screenshot that did not update the screenshot. Oh my God. Okay, is there any? Okay, these changes, I don't think I want to commit. I don't want to put any of that, especially if Matthew is doing something. I don't want to touch game Unity. So we can just do that. All right. Easy. All right. Why hasn't the image? Come on, image. Oh, come on. There we go. Really? Really? Am I going insane? Like, what's up? What's up? All right. I just want to make sure I'm not insane. I'm insane. What am I missing? There's something very obvious that I'm overlooking. It's not a cache. No. Okay. It's not a caching problem. Well, this is intriguing. Did I just save it as the wrong file? Screenshot? No. What obvious thing am I missing here? .docs. Yes, if I could have game scene for a bit, that'd be great. Yep, it's all yours for a while. Apparently, because I can't even figure out how to update an image properly. Like, that is really weird. It's fine here. Control refresh. Open image in new tab. We got this over here. Master docs images screen. Did I check it in on a branch or something? No, I didn't. Maybe I did. Did I? Okay. Wow. I'm losing my mind. I don't know what's happening. Okay. I'm going crazy. Okay. Wait a minute. Wait. Just calm down for a second. Just calm down. No. I thought I had it, but I don't have it. Boys, I'm really confused. I'm about ready to just, okay, there it goes, finally. Okay, I was getting ready to leave my career in computers and pursue my backup career. So actually, it's a good question. Matthew and Miss Hannah, Will Tyler, Certified No Chill. If you guys weren't in your current career, what would your backup career be? What would your second career be? For me, chef. Don't know why. I like cooking, and I especially like cooking for other people. I get a lot of pleasure from but I get a lot of pleasure from preparing meals that other people then enjoy. So I like that. I think I would definitely I would want to be a chef if I had to go into the witness protection program, and they're like, okay, you can never work with computers again because the mob is going to find you. So you're just going to have to do something outside of computers. All right. Chef. Will Tyler says electrician. That's a good backup. I mean, you make good money. A lot of the blue collar jobs, like electrician, HVAC, plumber, that kind of stuff. You make a good living. You make a really good mechanic. It's another good living. I wish I was better with my hands. No. Keep the jokes to yourselves. I wish I was better with my hands, like plumber, mechanic, electrician, that kind of electricity terrifies me. How many batches from standing at first lamppost looking at main building with guards? It was 1,200, I think. Welder. I have a degree already, but never worked as one. Welder. A woman welder, no doubt. Huh. Is that legal? No, no. Welder, that's interesting. That's interesting. I think I remember you telling me you had a degree in that, but wow. Music producer. Okay. Music producer. Okay. No, these are interesting answers. Gardening for total computer avoidance. The summer of COVID, I had a garden. And I quite enjoyed it. I quite enjoyed nurturing the vegetables in my garden. I quite enjoyed watching the corn go from a seed to a stalk of corn. And then I harvested the vegetables and I tried eating them and they all tasted terrible. Terrible. Now, I don't know if it was the soil or the seeds or whatever it was, but they tasted terrible. And that's when I was like, never gardening again. Never, ever going to try my hand at gardening again. Electrician and mechanic are good, logical troubleshooting jobs that align well with tech. True. Miss Huda, probably should be illegal. Probably. All right, so let's see. So I think this updated. Okay, so what I wanted to do is try and bring back the toggle to switch camera views. So first I wanted to remember how I had that originally. So I was literally just going to go back. Well, let's see. No. Okay, Saint Aveline clean. Just go back in the history. Like, well, we got to go way back for that. Like, I think we might have to go back to. I'm trying to remember if I removed it before or after I was in Africa. Well, let's just go to before because then it will definitely be there, I think. Okay, let's do menu rework. Yes, I am sure. Stop. Oh my God. Yes, confirm, please. And then that's a tilde, right? Isn't that what it's called? Tilde? Hilda? Tilde? Am I spelling it correctly? It scared me for a minute because the only time I use an incognito browser is, well, you guys know when. You guys know when. Or maybe some of you are just crazy and you just have it sitting there in your history. Like, not me. Like, no. I don't need people seeing that history. No. How to spell tilde? Yeah, I'm spelling it correctly. I know player interaction is a very, very old file. It's one of the, if not one of the, it's probably goes back to the epoch of the code base. Let's go back even more. Let's go back over here. Like, did I have it when I was in Fiji? Like, literally, like these landmarks in my life are all done by trips. Well, when I went to Fiji, or when I was in Africa, or when I went to like St. Helena, or like blah blah blah. Okay, yes, I'm humble bragging. Okay, sue me. Tilde. Is there anything in the code that's going to point me towards it? Camera toggle. Oh, there's a camera toggle. Oh. Is that still in the code base? No. Yes, it is. Okay. Toggle key equals. Okay, well, what does this do now? Does it do anything? Let's see. Okay, so it does nothing. Is there anything going on in the console? No. Okay, well, let's try to understand this. So camera, you know what? Camera toggle is probably attached to something and it's probably just disabled. If I had to guess, but I don't know. Camera toggle. God damn, I'm a genius. Okay, so here we go. Toggle, back quote, first person, third person, transition speed. Okay, let's just give it a shot. Sending you a Discord screenshot. Please do the same. Will help performance when deving. You want a screenshot of Discord? Ah! I know that's not what you want. I'm looking for this. Where did you send it? Okay. So back quote. That transition speed is slow. Is that seconds? It must be seconds. Let me see. Transition speed. Fixed time delta. First person. LERP. I'm just gonna, it's a float, so I'm gonna shorten it to 2.5. I swear it got slower. What the hell? No, 0.25. Well, that change is definitely going to bring game.unity back. It's good. So I won't commit this. At least now we know how. I must be doing like some fractional thing. Like what is happening here? So this is lerping. It's lerp. Okay. Camera position, first person position. And then the third argument is the time. Wait, the value lies. Assigning position and rotation sequentially could be optimized and top relates. Oh, it's basically just a measurement of where you are in the process of transitioning from one value to another. Instead of lerping, what am I doing? Is this the same command twice? Player camera. Oh, no. Okay, so one's the position, one's the rotation. Okay, I'm like, what the hell's going on there? All right. Maybe we don't want to lerp. Maybe we just want to go straight to it. Move the camera. No. I think we'll just leave it as it is. Okay. All right. No, I think this was good. I think we accomplished a lot. I mean, you know, look at this. Look. You saying we didn't accomplish anything? Are you suggesting that we did not accomplish anything tonight? Robert Urich needs more cowbell in the soundtrack. Robbie, are you back home? Are you back home, Robbie? I know you're back home. He's back home. You know he is. Did you sell the RV yet? I remember Robbie. Robbie's the crazy. He's the free spirit crazy guy. He's same age as me, but he's living life. He's that. Remember I was talking earlier about me being 20 and living in New York City. That's Robbie today. That's That's how free spirited he is. Street lights are good. Thanks, sir. Thank you. No, I'm very happy with this new screenshot. I'm very happy. I don't know what the statue is for, but I'm very happy. He's not home. Where are you? Why aren't you home? Go back home. What is wrong with me? What is wrong with me? I just... Never need a bigger truck. He needs a bigger truck. So Robbie bought an RV, and I believe you were planning on taking it cross country or something like that. I don't know. He had some crazy free-spirited hippie plan where he was just going to take the RV and he was going to go across. He was going to go across country, leaving a trail of broken hearts behind him, just showing the ladies. And Robbie, there's something you got to do. You have to do this for me. You have to do this. There's no easy way to say this. There's no easy way to say this. So I just have to say it. I have to say it. You are 51 years old. You need to stop wearing the fucking hats. Stop wearing the hats. Take the hats off. Robbie, he's one of these guys who is perpetually wearing a baseball cap. You're not playing baseball. Stop wearing the baseball hats. I know you are bald. I am too. Shave your head down. Just shave it. Look, just like this. Just give it a buzz cut and just shave it. Stop with the hats. You know you have a hat on right now. You know you do. And I know you have at least 3 other hats with you, because if you lose that one, you got to have a backup hat. You're a hat guy. Take the hats off. Take the hats off. You got to stop wearing the hat. You got to stop wearing the hat. Please, please, please. As your oldest friend, please stop wearing the hats. Shave your head. Take the hats off. Okay? Like why do some guys always wear a hat? It's because they're balding and they're trying to hide that they're like guys who literally wear a hat. Why? That is Robbie. I used to do this. It was because I had worn a hat for so long, I didn't think I looked right without one anymore. Like when you see someone always wearing glasses without them. Well, this guy has long hair. Bald. That's the number one answer is bald. Balding. Bald. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with balding. Just shave your head down. You'll look great. You'll look so much better if you just get rid of the hat and shave your head. I'll make you a deal, okay? I'll make you a deal. Or not, just try it for a month. Just for 1 month, no hat, shaved head. And it doesn't have to be like my hair. My hair's not down to the skin, right? Like I have a very, very short buzz cut. Just try that. Just no hat, hair shaved down to shaved down really short. Just give it a shot. Just try it. Just try it. 50 men in their 50s should not be wearing hats constantly. Just no, it's wrong. It's wrong. Why do American guys wear baseball caps all the time? See, it's because you're bald. Like people, like the number one answer is bald. And like that's the thing. Like if you're wearing a hat all the time, people know it's because you're bald. So people already know you're bald. There's nothing wrong with being bald. Bald men still get laid. So it's okay. In South America, is South America safe enough without machine gun? South America, people who don't travel have this like very weird misconception about places like Africa, South America, parts of Asia. And a lot of those places are dangerous. Like there are places you won't go to, but a lot of them are perfectly safe too. So, all right, I think I'm going to wrap it up. Get your mind out of the gutter. But I think I'm going to wrap up the stream and end it there. Let me make sure I have nothing to commit. My dog is bugging me. He wants to go out. I think he needs to pee. I think I'm okay in turn. Oh wait, I'm looking at the wrong repo. Yeah, these changes, I'm just going to go ahead and discard all these changes. I don't know what I was doing here. So I'll just discard that. But yeah, so thanks for joining, everybody. I will be back tomorrow at 4 o'clock. I hope Razman has some C++ questions for me. I hope Will Tyler has accepted that AI is not the end-all, be-all, going to be the savior of mankind. And I hope that Matthew has reduced the batches to less than 10. I want less than 10 batches. Less than 10 batches. All right, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.